a little bit later on in life when I had my children. My first child, I was under a high dependency unit because of my epilepsy, so they monitored me pretty well. And apart from blood pressure and toxemia towards the end, nothing really was picked up. They obviously changed my medication but I wasn't actually diagnosed with epilepsy. Okay, so my diagnosis came between my older daughter and my younger one. So, and how that came about was that I kept having frequent episodes, and my doctor sent me off to get an MRI, and that picked up that I had a scar on my hippocampus, and I was actually having epileptic temporal lobe seizures. So I went to, my husband wanted me to go to, because I couldn't get in publicly at that time, we went privately. And he was nice, he was quite eccentric, Dr. William Wallace. And he diagnosed differently with temporal lobe epilepsy focal, it's been named that many times. And I really didn't get a concept of what that meant for me. I was put on medication and I was put on Epilim. Another problem I had with the Epilim was I did not have informed consent when I had my daughter, and she's got now fetal valparate syndrome. So that was quite a journey to go through with that. I was told because I was going to take folic acid, I had a 1% chance of the malformation spina bifida, and they'd keep testing, and at 20 weeks you take and all was going well apparently. But as Denise has told me, which I've now found out, there are many malformations, and I was on very high dosages of Epilim when I was pregnant with Kate. I was getting up to 1,600 milligrams, and I was still not controlling seizures. So when we went to a paediatrician, it was funny, when Kate started school, within 6 weeks, we got called and said, we're not going to teach your daughter anymore. Why? You need to take her to a paediatrician. Okay. Now, when Kate was 3, I knew something was different. I could tell she was a very sick baby. She had ear problems, nose problems. She'd bang her head against the window. And the doctor that I took her to wanted to put her straight on Ritalin, and I said, I'm not putting my daughter on Ritalin. I want a paediatrician's appointment. No, wouldn't have it. She got labelled naughty, difficult. Anyway, our husband again said, right, we'll go private. So we went to Warwick Smith, and he diagnosed her within 15 minutes of having ADHD, but he said there's something else going on. So he sent us off to a geneticist, Salem Athmos, who diagnosed her with mild fetal valparate. There's nothing mild about it, and we've determined that. And I really didn't take much notice of this fetal valparate. It was just like, oh, what the hell is that? I'm not going to find that out. I'm going to deal with what I've got. Where everyone knows ADHD. And, we used to get phone calls from the school that she was at. Has your daughter had her medication today? Yes. Why? Because she's walking around school with a bag of water looking for her goldfish. And I go, oh, her goldfish died the other day. She said, well, very different. And I just sitting in school, like teaching, laughing my bum off, because it was like, what do you want me to do? See the funny side of it. She's quirky, Please understand her. And as life went on, she was difficult. We can't cope with her. She would run. She was a runner. She'd hide. And I had to come and sort it out. That being said, yes, that drug is disgusting for women, and there's a lot more knowledge about it now. Denise, I know, has done a lot of work with that. She's an amazing lady. And Jackie Morris. But, yeah, and this is one of the reasons why we were able to gain ACC for Kate, because there was a lot of stuff we had to do. I mean, legal. We got declined 3 times, I think. And each time I thought, nope. And I tell you, Ross, if she had not got support with ACC, she'd be dead, because life got very difficult for her. And it was declined on the ordinary consequence, and I had informed consent. I didn't have informed consent. I was not given any. I was told what would be happening. And you trust your medical profession, don't you? So that's that. And I mean, she's 21 now and she's thriving. So we've got to be grateful for that. As my daughters had problems within school, and one walked out of school at year 10 for mental health issues, and then there was Kate, who was struggling in her own. They didn't get fetal valvular syndrome, which encompassed a whole range of different things. So if I didn't get a phone call by 11 o'clock from the school saying, come pick up your daughter, so I had to give up work in 2012 to be the sole caregiver to my 2 daughters. Meanwhile, still having epilepsy. So I didn't really have time to do me.
No.
I met a wonderful lady, my paediatrician with Kate, Dr. Warwick Smith, put me in contact with Denise Astle, who is co-founder and director of FACS-NZ. And she supported me through the journey of gaining ACC. We had genetic testing for Kate, obviously, and she came with a diagnosis of fetal valvular. And so that was a 5-year battle with ACC. And she gained ACC in the end, which was marvellous. And it's made life-changing for her. She now resides in a residential facility down in Hamilton, and they're both shining.